It was the early hours of July 20th, 1982. In Buckingham Palace, a fortress of tradition, guarded by centuries of ceremony and security, a stranger moved quietly through the corridors. No royal invitation, no disguise, no plan beyond impulse. His name was Michael Fagan, a 33-year-old father of 4 from North London. Fagan wasn't a criminal mastermind. He was an ordinary man in extraordinary distress. Mentally unwell, unemployed, and disillusioned with the world around him. But somehow, he had done the unthinkable. He had actually broken into the Queen's private residence. And this wasn't even the first time. Weeks earlier, Fagan had climbed a drainpipe and wandered through the palace undetected for nearly half an hour. He sipped wine from Prince Charles' private supply and admired the grandeur around him before slipping away unnoticed. Security was alerted, but no one caught him. So, he came back. This time, he took the same route, a drainpipe, an unlocked window, a palace that was supposed to be impenetrable. It was just past 7 a.m. when Queen Elizabeth II awoke to find a barefoot man in her bedroom, bleeding slightly from a cut on his hand. Can you imagine waking up to that? There were no guards rushing to her side, no alarms blaring, just the Queen and a stranger at the foot of her bed. Incredibly, she didn't scream, didn't panic. She spoke to him, calmly, quietly. She asked if he was hurt. He rambled about politics, about Margaret Thatcher, about his children, about feeling invisible. For more than 10 minutes, the Queen, one of the most recognizable and powerful figures in the world, sat with a man who had no business being there, listening, waiting, composed. Man, she was a better woman than I am. Eventually, she managed to signal her staff. A footman, unaware of the danger, entered the room and offered the man a cigarette to keep him calm. Only then did the police arrive. No one was harmed, but everything changed. The breach made headlines across the world. The royal family was humiliated. How could an intruder reach the Queen's bedroom? Twice! Where were the guards? How had this happened? Behind the scenes, heads rolled. Security protocols were rewritten, alarms were upgraded, new systems were put in place. Fagan's break-in didn't just embarrass the palace, it modernized it. But the twist of fate isn't just in the breach, it's in the Queen's response. She didn't use the moment to call for vengeance or pity. She didn't speak publicly about it at all. She carried on, gracefully, calmly, and quietly. And for many, that calm in the storm said more about her character than any royal decree ever could. Fagan was not charged with trespassing, if you can believe that, because at the time, listen to this, it wasn't technically a crime to walk uninvited into the Queen's bedroom. Oh, instead, he was sent for psychiatric evaluation. Years later, Fagan would reflect on the experience, saying he never meant to hurt the Queen. He just wanted to be heard. And in that surreal moment, against all odds, he was. And so, a single unguarded window, a man in mental crisis, and a 10-minute conversation with the monarch changed royal security forever. Because history doesn't always hinge on wars or parliaments. Sometimes it comes down to a quiet voice in the dark, and a queen who chose to listen. This has been Twist of Fate Radio. I'm Angela Clark. Until next time, remember, sometimes the smallest choices lead to the biggest consequences. Want to explore more stories like this? Visit twistoffateradio.com. There you can read more details about this story and others like it, plus Plus, you can submit your own twist of fate story to be considered for a future episode. You never know what twist of fate is coming next.